So, I have been asked to do like a how I make my videos video, and this one has like no relation other than the way that I actually like draw. So, this is a how I draw video because I feel like it. This drawing took me 45 minutes. Yay. So, I'm just gonna go straight into it because, like, why not? So the first thing I do is I make a sketch. These look really, really rough. Like, they're bad. But they're just, like, a way to lay out where everything is. And, like, get it on a canvas, you know? I can't really say get it on paper because it's not paper. I'm not funny. But yeah, I just make a simple sketch with a, like, I don't know what brush this is. It's like almost like an airbrush sort of thing, but it's not. Like, it's got like pen pressure to it and it's soft. I don't even know. But yeah, I use normally that or an actual sketching brush, but I think this one's just better because it's kind of easier and I can see things, and you know, it's nice. After that, I'll normally start the line art, or if I'm doing something more complex, like this drawing, like a full body or something, I might do like a sketch of the line art to make sure that I like it. My cat is like attacking everything. But yeah, I'll do some kind of like sketch version of the line art to really get like what I want it to look like down and adjust things before I actually start lining, because I hate doing line art. It scares me. It makes me nervous because what if I get a line wrong, you know? I don't like it. So I normally will do that with more like complex stuff like a full body, but not for like a headshot. Actual line art, I hate it. I don't like line art. It's not enjoyable. It's because I like use such small like brush size that it doesn't work. It makes me nervous because if I get one thing wrong, it'll look so wonky. So I have to be really careful and take my time, and that's what takes up a lot of my actual drawing, as well as coloring like complex characters like Meteor. Meteor is very complex. I regret it, but it's okay. That reference sheet took me an entire day to make. And I didn't even design the entire character myself, really. My friend was helping me. But yeah, I don't like line art. It scares me. But I line it like everybody does. I normally use like 2 to 3 pixel size, like 2 point something or 3 point something. I used 2.36 for this one. I'm really good at remembering numbers, am I right? But yeah, I used I think like 2.36 to line this, and I like that size. I might go from like 2 to 3 pixels. It depends on what I'm drawing and what I end up with. Sometimes I'll make lines like thinner or thicker because of where they are. Normally I don't though. Like sometimes I'll give things like a tip or like an edge almost, but normally I don't. I just stick to one size and just go with it. I'm trying to like incorporate like more fur, but I don't know how that's going. It's something. So after I line the whole thing, and funny enough, I couldn't remember what a cat's back looked like, and I didn't use a reference. So I had to literally grab my phone, look up a cat, and realize I was sketching it completely wrong and redo it. I also struggled to line the neck and the back, because, like, I'm really bad with anatomy. That wasn't obvious. Yeah, my anatomy isn't great. So after I line the whole thing, then I move on to a less stressful part, but still kind of stressful, which is coloring. Coloring sometimes scares me if I'm doing like a complex design like Meteor. It just, what if I do something wrong? I like seeing the coloring, like getting it all put together, because when I line and then I take the sketch off, like I've lowered the opacity on the sketch, I like turn the opacity to 0, I'm like, whoa, that looks bad, because like my eyes are used to looking at the sketch and the line art. But what I do for coloring is I select outside of it, outside of like the line art, so it's selecting like the background, and then I invert the selection, put it onto a new layer under the line art, and then I select whatever base color there is. For example, that would be the really light purple on his body, and then I deselect it and do the control lock thing. I'm sorry. And then I will go in with markings. Like normally I go from dark purple to white to lighter purple. It kind of depends. Also, it depends on the character, because not every character I have is purple. So I normally do like the base color, and then I go in with the markings based on how much of that marking there is. Like, there's a lot of dark purple in Meteor, so I go in with the dark purple first, and then some parts I'll just leave, like, without coloring for a little bit. Like, some parts that have the dark purple aren't colored until later, so that I can put the white on those parts first, so it doesn't make it look weird, because it makes it all pixely on the edges, because I don't turn the bucket tool thing down. What I do for markings is I'll take the marking color, I will kind of like make line art for it, and then I use the bucket tool. So I have to be careful and like kind of reline where two colors have been like used with the bucket tool to fill in. Sometimes I'll fill them in by hand though, but I have to be careful because they'll end up really pixely and kind of weird, which is never good. I did not actually end up shading this piece because I was tired and I didn't feel like it. And then a part that I really don't like either, backgrounds. I hate them even more than line art. Oh, backgrounds. I wanted to do like a space thing. I don't know why he's just like standing in empty space. I have no clue, don't ask me. But yeah, I wanted to do like a space background, and I struggled a lot with the gradient. I tried doing a bunch of different like grayed out purples and blues, and I just ended up using a like airbrush almost tool, but not quite an airbrush. Like it's a little bit like harder than an airbrush, because an airbrush would be like completely soft, and I didn't completely use that. Like I used a different brush. I don't remember which brush though. Sorry. And I ended up just using the blue and the purple and using less and less pressure until they kind of met. And then I picked a color that was like in between. Like it wasn't the purple and it wasn't the blue. It was like in the middle. And doing that like where they met. And then I did like a gray almost for the background, and I lowered the opacity of the like brushed one, and then I put some other purple and blue desaturated gradients in the back, and then I just kind of used Meteor to cover it up because you can still see the gray. I don't normally put texture in my like backgrounds or drawings because Krita doesn't have like a noise thing or like grain or anything that work very well. Like it has it, but it doesn't, and it's kind of weird. I don't know if that's just a me thing. I actually looked it up and it said there wasn't, but I don't know. So I took this like grass brush. No, it was a water brush. Hi, Roslyn. I'm not looking at the actual footage, I'm just staring at the like finished piece. That's why I'm kind of struggling over here. But I just used like a water texture brush and just made some texture in the back. What? Yeah? I know. Are you done talking? Yeah? No? Really? I'm in the middle of something, Roslyn. What? What? Yeah? Don't eat the plant. Roslyn, no! 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 You're gonna fall. But yeah, I used a water texture brush, and then I took like a, what are they called? Star, yeah, stars. I know what those are. What? What do you have to say for yourself, Roslyn? Okay, whatever you're doing. But I used a like star texture brush, and then I went around the entire like body, and then I used lens and Gaussian, however you pronounce that, blur, and then I like erased parts that were too like bright, and then I lowered the opacity. Then I used a more like spread out, I guess, star brush on the background to put in the stars. Hi. And then I took the regular, like, default brush. Oh, I forgot to mention, I use the default brush for line art and coloring. Unless I need, like, textures or something. But I took the default brush, which is basically, like, the one they put you on when you first download it. I don't have any other brushes downloaded because I had to re-download it, so I lost all my, like, downloaded brushes. Stop eating the plant! So I took the default brush, and then I just did white around it, and I played with the, like, size, because I didn't know how much, like, white border I wanted. And then when I got the size I wanted, I just lowered the opacity. 45 minutes later, this is the final piece. So if you ever wonder how I draw, that's how I draw. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's literally how I draw. It's not that interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye.